Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this hands-on lab experience workshop. Right, as if you want part two to the hybrid IT track of the work from home 2020, I want to welcome all of you. Thanks to HPE and Microsoft and Intel, we are able to bring this to you. My name is Noel. And of course, I wish able to join us, but sadly, he's tied up in activity, right, for the organization. So he's asked me to welcome you and to make sure that everything goes really well for each one of you. To get that started, I just want to set the right set how we came about with work from home, all right? And I'm sure many of you know that ransomware has populated a lot of our cyber news, if you want. More recent attacks, for example, in the east coast of the US. And many of it has created, if you want, pandemic of a different variety to what we are currently facing, all right, physically. That said, combining the two pandemics, if you want, has really turned our world into chaos, right? Not even including some of the natural disasters that we have been seeing around the world, right? And these disasters like floods, extreme cold, wildfires, drought, weather patterns, hurricanes, and those phenomena, if you want, has truly caused havoc, right? They have been extremely destructive, deadly for many, even devastating to businesses and economies, right? So this world of ours in chaos, if you can see, even has recently expanded itself into China. Now, most of you probably know that China has got the COVID-19 pandemic under control. Now, I guess probably there's no country in the world that could say they have natural disasters under control. Surprising that in the northern part of China, in this area called Heilong, this massive flood. But not limited to the northern side of the hemisphere, even in the southern side of late been inundated. Even as recent as about 10 days ago, they were still being inundated with floods. One that is of a global epic proportion is attacking us in multiple fronts, from a cyber front to the natural front in terms of natural disasters, even to the physical front that threatens our well-being, right? So as you can see from some of these scenes that I managed to capture from the internet, the problems that's been ravaging the world has been very intense, right? And these are becoming more and more over the last couple of years, right? The intensity of it has become a lot worse than what it used to be. So it's not surprising that our safety needs, all right, are being threatened, right? From a security perspective, from a safety perspective, resulting in the form of a major disaster, right? That we, from technology perspective, need to help our customers, all right, our users around the world handle the situation a lot better. So that's where this work from home started last year, right? When we started to think about how to help our customers and so forth. So as the vaccines work their way to help us manage the pandemic, and as cyber threats, yes.
We actually are facing a bit lag and the voice keep on breaking. And there is a few comment in the chat box also, but we can't really get you. So maybe we need to fix this to proceed.
Let's turn off the video and see if that helps. to start with?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Then give me feedback if you still have problems hearing me. Okay.
All right.
All right. So let's rewind this and let's start again from here. This is where, if you want, with the setting of COVID-19 from a viral pandemic perspective threatening our lives, and even from a natural disasters perspective threatening many businesses and lives around the world, and of course the cyber threat pandemic, right? In that context, if you want, right, we realize that we can have COVID-19 under control when the vaccines work its way and we get herd immunity. And of course, from a cyber threat perspective, we can also probably manage that to a certain extent with very good backups and very good disaster recovery plans and being able to execute on that ground. And of course, from a natural disasters, we cannot control the natural disasters, but we can mitigate the problem, if you want, with a very comprehensive and profound, if you want, disaster recovery plan that we can keep our systems going, even from on premise to another on-premise, or even taking to a cloud setting if you want. So all of that said and done, we believe that the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right, can be mitigated using Windows Server 2019 and even the HPE ProLiant service, right? So these combinations, if you want, together with what's happening with technology trends, with the end of support of some of the technologies that is the threat, if you want, from the cyber crime and so forth, and of course to the forefront of work from home, right? So having some of those scenarios covered by Server and so forth helps us build their readiness, right? Even down to the disaster readiness aspects of the technology, right? That is available from Windows Server 2019 as well as Azure HCI. So all of that said and done, right? That's where we feel that with these problems and so forth, starting from last year with the multi-track, if you want, work from home 2020, right? And we even had a little breather during lunchtime with a workout by our certified fitness instructor, SH. And of course, this year around, and in this setting, we actually have the hands-on lab. So we are so grateful to HP, Microsoft, and Intel to be able to bring this to you, right? But not limited to that, we are going to have the cybersecurity track and the biz IT track, right? It's just that we are not doing that simultaneously like last year with Work From Home 2020. So if you look at the cybersecurity session, we are actually going to have that on the 27th of July, right, from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. for the webinar sessions. And a few days later, we will do the hands-on lab pertaining to cyber threats and so forth, right? And of course, for the base IT, we will do that in August. So we're doing it on a monthly back-to-back manner rather than 3 simultaneous tracks happening at the same time. So don't forget, the cybersecurity session will happen in July.
Quite like a minute of breaking out.
Okay, understand. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to exit out of this, all right? And I'm just going to let the team take the hands-on lab and get you guys started. Maybe a couple hours later, I can come back in and share the rest of this, okay? Thank you. Thanks for that, Wei Ling. Thank you. Okay, please go ahead and start on the labs. Linus, over to you.
Sure. All right. Hey, okay. Let me get my virtual screen running. Okay. Welcome everyone. I am going to share with you a link. All right, that you will get to access to the lab guide as well as the assignment of which virtual machine you are going to use. Okay. So just give me a moment. All right. Right now I am sharing the link to you. Okay. Okay. Check your chat. All right. So this will bring you to a OneDrive. Okay. So with this OneDrive, you will see a couple of folders. Okay. You take a look at this image, all right? So the 101 lab, right now we are going to start 2 labs, okay? So it's a 101 lab and 202 lab. Your assignment, your name will be listed in the assignment. You see the Excel file there, all right? If you can download the file, don't open online, all right? Download the file to your local computer. Okay, then open it up, look out for your name. There are 2 worksheets inside. One is a 101 lab, one is a 202 lab. Not many there, all right? You can look out for your names. If your name is not there, please voice out in the, yeah, just turn on your mic and let us know that your name is not there. We will make some arrangement for you, okay? So, then let me run through with you on the 101 lab. If you can go in, there's only one document in there, all right? That if you are assigned to 101 lab, then that will be your lab guide, okay? Download a copy, open up with a Word document, Word app, then you can review it. Another folder is 202 lab. That is also your lab guide. You can open it up and take a look. Okay, so I will run through with you in terms of how do you start using the lab. Let me share my screen at the moment. Okay. I'm going to use one of your AnyDesk so that I will make use of that to become a sample, yeah? Okay. Okay, I'm going to use Shane, okay? Shane Lee, I'm using your AnyDesk session, if you already have that, okay, to show everyone, yeah? Do you all have AnyDesk installed in your PC, or you have a, can you all feedback to me? Do you have AnyDesk ready in your computer?
Hi,
Can
Linus. I
anyone?
think everyone could be new to AnyDesk, so maybe you want to run through what is AnyDesk and how to download AnyDesk and things like that.
Sure. All right. Okay. So if you can go to your browser, all right, look for AnyDesk. All right. So AnyDesk is a remote access tool. All right, like TeamViewer. If you're familiar with TeamViewer or UltraViewer, okay, you search online, look for this AnyDesk domain. Okay. You will be greeted with a download screen already. Very easy. Okay. It depends on whether you are Mac or you are Windows. You'll be able to see the right kind of link ready for you. You download, you run it. You don't need to install. All right. If your computer have installation restriction and all that, it doesn't matter. You just need to launch it. You can launch the AnyDesk without installation. Yeah. So what you do is after you install already, you look at the document I shared with you just now. Okay, so identify your name. Let's say if you are Shane Lee, all right, your AnyDesk ID assigned to you is this one. So you just copy this. Okay, copy, minimize this. Paste your ID here. Click connect. All right. So you'll get to see the console screen. There are 2 options here. Select console, click connect, and look at your password. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to type out the password on a notepad for you so that you can easily identify what is it about. All right. It's very easy. The password is very long. All right. 12 characters, but it's very easy. You hold down the shift key on your computer. All right. Then that is button 1, 2. All right. Release your shift, then 3, 4. Then hold down the shift again, QW. All right, which is next row on your key. Then release your shift, ER. Then hold down your shift again, AS, which is next row on your keyboard, and DF. All right, so basically it's 3 rows of your keyboard and 2 with shift and 2 without shift, then 2 with shift, 2 without shift, and so on and so forth. So this will be your password to access to your AnyDesk, which is your lab environment. Okay, so I'm going to move this out, and I'm going to type exactly what I just explained to you. Okay. Sometimes you get disconnected, so it's good that you just select this. So the next time when you connect again, it will automatically put in this long password for you. But after a while, you get to use to all this long password because everything else inside the lab is using the same password. Yeah. Okay. So once you logged in already, you can see this is your lab environment. We call it level 1. Every one of you will be given a number which is 1. 1, that means level 1. All right, this is your lab environment. We call it level 1. S is for participant for you guys. Okay, then every one of you are given with a number 631 for Shane's case, right? Okay, the rest of you will also have your own number. You just look at this number. Later, when you create cluster, you are supposed to create your cluster according to this number. All right. So if I am also to open the lab guide and show to you, for example, this is the 101 lab. All right, this is a lab guide on 101 lab. When you scroll down, whatever I've just explained to you is inside the first section, introduction to your lab environment. If you just came in, you missed what I've just explained to you, you open the lab guide, follow the link in your chat box, you should be able to find the guide. Then you follow step by step. They are all here. All right. If you're confused with what I just mentioned, you follow the guide. You'll be able to get to the lab environment as well. Okay. So then for 101 lab, you are able to straight away start from here. So what our team have done was, okay, we have already started all your virtual machine for you. Okay. The first app you need to open is Hyper-V Manager. All right, the guide will also explain to you, but I just like to quickly start off with you first. Okay, so you look at the guide again. See, launch this. Yeah. Then, all right, we have started this for you. If it is started, no, then it's okay. You continue to use. If it is not started, please go ahead and start it. Okay, then select 1DC. So what does it mean? Select 1DC. Let's do it. Okay, select 1DC, right click, connect. Okay. Yeah, before I logged in, all right, I like to show you, if you are on different sizes of your display, you can actually stretch the screen so that it's easier for you to view, all right? You can actually click on this square monitor box, all right? Then click stretch option. All right, so you have a slightly bigger screen. So now you have window in window, okay? So this is like your physical environment. This is called what we call the lab. So your physical environment, when you are operating your system, most likely you will have 3 servers. One, which is your physical domain controller, and followed by another cluster server. This is exactly what we are trying to do here. So you follow 1DC, that means it's one of the node here, all right? One of the VM inside here. Okay, because sometimes it can be a bit difficult to navigate like this. So what you do is you can press this button, Control Alternate Delete. Okay, then you can sign in. It's the same password, Shift 1 2 3 4 without shift, Shift QW ER, Shift AS, then DF without the shift. Okay, then you'll be signing to 1DC. Then from 1DC, okay, you go back to your guide again. Where is my guide? Okay, after you click connect, press this and sign in and go to server manager. All right, then you are in 1DC. Then you follow the rest of the step in this manner. All right, so 202 is the same. All right, the starting point is exactly the same, but 202 is slightly more advanced in the sense of the exercise you're going to do. The beginning of the lab is exactly the same. We will also explain all this to you. then the starting point of your lab will be slightly different. Okay, but the rest is all in the guide. You just need to follow step by step. Okay, then I'm going to run through with you another document, all right, which is this one. Okay. Remember the very first folder you saw? You have a VM lab assignment list. This is where you find your name. So you realize that next to your name, there is a person is designated to support you. Okay, but this is not the only person can help you. Okay, anybody here, we can help each other to do the lab. All right, but this is a designated person. All right, Kenny will be helping you. Nicholas will be helping this group of friends, and so on and so forth. All right. So another thing I'm going to explain is, for all of you who will be attending 101, okay, you remain in this room. Okay, you remain in this Teams room. In a moment, we are going to start room 202. So room 202, we will invite those which is supposed to attend 202 lab, which is you guys here. All right, you will receive an invitation to join room 202 as soon as we open the room. You can actually click join now, then immediately you will go to the room. Okay, Chua will lead you through your lab, okay, in room 202. So myself will also be in 202. Myself and Chua will be helping you. This is the designated person again, but it's not necessary. All of us can help each other. Okay. Any question? All right. You should be able to start logging in now. If you encounter any issue, please voice out. Okay. All right. You may start. Okay.
Linus, are you logging them into the new room, the breakout room?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. TY, could you start the room 202, please?
All right.
Okay, guys. So this 101 lab is designed to just let you guys play around and experience a little bit of Windows Server 2019 regarding some of its features that maybe some may or may not know about. Therefore, we started off you guys with something called storage spaces, which is used to be something called storage spaces direct as well, which to use for cluster, which is actually the foundation for the Azure Stack HCI technology. All right. So this storage spaces is designed to work on a single server. All right, and you can actually withstand a lot of the what do you call this resiliency in terms of any drive failure, right? Things like that. You can actually withstand it. All right. So we have included some information regarding storage spaces as well as also data deduplication. Okay, so the first lab will bring you guys to actually configure these two features as well as test some of its resiliency and things like that, right? And then moving on, we will bring you guys to do remote app, which is a kind of an RDS feature, all right, for especially in this work from home situation, a lot of these things are needed to run some of these remote applications and things like that. You can try out remote app. All right, and then from then on, we will be using Windows Admin Center to manage the servers as well as the cluster. Okay, so just holler back if you guys have any issues. Just drop a comment in the things, and yeah, and we are also supporting you guys along the way. If you guys have any issue, we will just jump into your machine and help you guys out, right? If you guys are stuck in any way. All right. So if you guys see the people within this page, all right, within the assigned user as well as support by, So if your name is here and you can see the support by, we have been, you are supported by some of us, right? Me, Kenny, and as well as we have Nicholas, Alvin, and Esther. All right, so yeah, if you guys have any issue, just put it on the chat group, or you can just voice it up and we will just come in and support you guys, right? This lab is quite straightforward. It should take no more than about 2 to 3 hours. Hopefully you guys can have enough time to finish it, right? So it's straightforward. Anyone having issues joining even to the AnyDesk to their lab environment? Let me see. Let's check back on some of this. Yes. I'm logging into Shane's environment just to help out if needed. Oh, it's quite fast. The file share has been created. Cool. How about Basarudin? Copying some files here. Carl, are you there? Seems like you haven't started, but it's okay. Let us know if any issue logging in. Okay. Okay, Danish, you're doing good. On three-way mirror. Okay, with three-way mirror, you can actually suffer up to 2 disk failures. Right, next. Anizam, are you guys in the call? Are you in the call? Okay. For one portion, Hanizam seems to be not there. Carl, is it? Is Carl there? Okay. Nicholas, Esther, Alvin, how are your participants? Are they okay?
Doing okay so far. Mine.
Okay. Most of your people join.
Got three of them.
Three of them is inactive. Other two is active.
Oh, okay. Maybe note down who is not active. Nicholas, which one is
So far, Victor, Justin, and Farah is not active. Ken and Mark are doing quite well.
cool. Victor, Justin, and Farihan, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, I'll just knock it down. Alvin?
On my end, 4 are active. I have one that I'm not sure whether connected to the AnyDesk or not.
Okay, cool. What's his name? The one that is not quite.
Sampan
Oh,
Sri
okay.
Pisan.
Seems like a Thai name. Esther, all of you is active, right?
Only one not logged in. Vince not yet logged in.
All right, cool. Thanks for that
No
update.
problem.
Okay, if you guys are, any of you guys are in the call and you guys have issues with logging in, especially those who hasn't started, like Carl, Anizam, Victor, Justin, Farihan, Sampan, as well as Vin, just put it in the chat. We will just attend to you if you guys have any issue. I know that sometimes you guys are not free or suddenly something came up, something like that, but yeah, if you guys are in the call, just have any issues with it joining in, just let us know. Okay, cool. Okay. Be right back. Okay, so if you guys are here and stuck, right, what you can do is to restore back the storage spaces drive. Let's go and add a hard drive. At this point, you see a virtual hard disk, you will request to new or browse. We will plug in an existing hard disk. All right, we go to 1DC, virtual hard disk. You just now remove 4 and 5, right? Now we put it back in. Okay, open. We click apply. You can see this 4 now. Let's have another one. Wait, so this one, add, browse again. This 5. All right, so we're gonna click apply. And then you can see here, this 345 is out. Let's go back in. Okay, let's see. 345. Yeah, here you go. It's been restored. Everything is okay now. So the warning sign is gone. Okay. You can continue from there. Okay. All right, Noah was going to share something. All right. Go ahead, Noah.
Mm-hmm. Select. Oh, I see. Yeah. I need to change some configuration on this particular machine first. Because this particular device has not been set up before. So
And you need to move your deck over from a new,
yeah,
yeah.
that one's done. I'm just got to make sure that allows me to share device audio settings. Okay, never mind. We'll skip that part for now. Screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, yep.
Yep,
Yes.
can.
All right. Great. Wow, fantastic. You guys are almost at the end. All right. And I think for many of you, the timing is quite appropriate. We did try to time the lab for about 3 to 3.5 hours, depending on whether you hit any issues and so forth. But this particular hands-on lab is really meant to illustrate the capabilities you want of the session that we did on 16th, right? So I believe some of you attended that session on the 16th. So that gave us a chance to illustrate the power of Windows Server together with HPE service and HCI. Now, it's important to note that the difference between the HPE service and other branded service is really, if you distill everything out, it's down to this one major capability built into this chip called the ILO 5. Right? With ILO 5, we get this security feature called Silicon Root of Trust. And what Silicon Root of Trust gives us is an ability to protect the hardware, the firmware of the server from attacks of malware. Example could be rootkits, right? Rootkits typically have this insidious way of hanging on to the system and be able to continuously infect the system and so forth. So what the Silicon Root of Trust really does is, as it says, it ties itself with the firmware code, the ILO 5 firmware code, and it protects the UEFI and multiple sets of firmware, and that subsequently securing the memory, right? So that using this unique digital fingerprint, right, it prevents the rootkit from being part of the boot up, so that it does not reinfect the system again. If there is any infection, it can always roll back or fall back to a known good backup of the ROM. So this process of protecting, detecting, and recovery is a very amazing capability built into ILO 5. But not limited to that, obviously, is Windows Server itself comes with multiple layers of security, right? Added on top of the Silicon Root of Trust. So these are the two servers that we have that's running a lot of the labs that you guys are doing. Of course, we also have Intel Optane persistent memory running in them as well. And we discovered that the HP Alliance servers had probably one of the easiest way to configure Intel Optane persistent memory. So when the team was actually configuring it, we captured this video for you. Right, we will upload the deck so that you can actually download it in your own time to go through it at a slower pace, so that you can understand the technology behind these areas that we're talking about. Net, if you want, the solution we discovered is actually very simple. Starting with the two-node switchless, whether you're using the DL360 or the DL380 or even any of the other models available, together with Windows Server 2019 Data Center, which is what you're using for Azure Stack HCI in this set of labs. And of course, many of you are probably very familiar with Windows Admin Center by now. and of course, together with the extensions for the ProLiant service and Azure ACI, plus services from your partners, right? Or even the distributors, right, to support you, right? We believe that this solution from HP is truly one that is highly scalable, reliable, and secure. And why would such a solution be popular, especially in a time such as this, is really probably from a work from home perspective, this technology built inside Windows Server called Remote Desktop Services, or RDS for short. And RDS was one of the capability that you turned on to expose applications using this feature called Remote App. But apart from publishing applications, right, with Remote App, you also have the ability to run virtual desktop. So some people run Windows 10 Pro in this virtual desktop. And I'm sure some of you know that the Windows 11 is not far from the horizon, which means that once they make it available, right, you will be able to run Windows 11 Professional, for example, in the virtual desktop in this second scenario called virtual desktop infrastructure. So the technology is actually quite straightforward, and this is how all the components come together for those of you who are curious. So from the machine, like could be a laptop, could be a tablet, or even a mobile device, for example, connecting to the RDS gateway, right? From there, connecting to the broker, and then into the virtualization host, if you are doing VDI. If you are coming in through the web browser, all right, you connect to the RDS web, right, or RD web, sometimes known as, then to the broker, and then connecting to the same RDVH, or the remote desktop virtualization host. In this case, will be the Azure Stack HCI environment. And of course, the other component that may be very important, in fact, typically we recommend that you deploy it at the same time at the beginning, is the remote desktop licensing server. This remote desktop licensing server will hold the product key of your licenses so that as users connect, it will issue the license to that particular user or device. So we had two labs, all right? So what you did was lab number one, okay? And there are a bunch of people going through lab number two. Lab number two, being a lot more advanced, had a lot more different areas that they cover, right? So maybe in the near future, all right, when we rehost a lot of these labs, you can come back in, all right, and do lab number two, right, if you want. Now, why is Azure Stack HCI more affordable than competition like Nutanix or VMware vSAN, for example? In this slide, you will notice that the dollar signs attached to each layer is different. All right, you notice that customers who buy the Azure Stack HCI only pay for the hardware and of course the Windows Server, right, data center edition. And the nice thing with this also is System Center Suite up the top is purely optional, which means that many customers don't even feel that they need it because Windows Admin Center is such a powerful and comprehensive tool today. Right, so if I want to summarize all the things that was covered on the 16 and even some of the areas that you did today in the hands-on lab, you had a chance to play with Hyper-V, right? You had a chance to play with Windows Admin Center. And of course, you had a chance to play with RDS and even HCI. So essentially, we have covered 4 out of the 7 areas. And of course, all that made possible through the very affordable HPE ROC that's running Windows Server, right, on the servers that you're running. So the only 2 bits, if you want, right, that you probably didn't get a chance to try is the autopilot, all right, and Hyper-V replica. The good news is when we do the BIS IT track, all right, in August, you will be able to have a go at Hyper-V replica plus many other exciting disaster recovery capability built inside Windows Server. And of course, although we didn't go into this this time around, you heard us talk about the hybrid platform on the 16th. right? And you saw the power of HCI if you want through Azure HCI in this session. What we'll try to do is we'll try and get Chua to give you guys a sneak peek of Windows Server 2022. If any of you are interested, would any of you be interested to see a demo of Windows Server 2022 in action, which is the next version of Windows Server? Anyone? You can unmute yourself and just yell out.
People are saying yes in the chat group.
Okay, very good.
Definitely yes.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Chua, right, to switch over for a few minutes and show you guys an interesting demo that he has created. If you go to the Microsoft certification page under Microsoft Learn, there's this Azure Stack HCI Foundations that you can jump in and kick the tires if you want. There are 4 modules. Approximate time to finish is actually not 3 hours as what they show. It's actually longer than that because I feel the content is very rich. There's a lot you can learn from that. And you notice that it goes through a very comprehensive introduction. But more than that, it goes into some of the other Azure Stack family members as well, like Azure Stack Hub and Azure Stack Edge. And of course, the underlying technology that powers up Azure Stack HCI, like Hyper-V, failover clustering, software-defined storage, which is storage spaces direct, as well as software-defined networking. And very quickly after that, it goes in and thoroughly take you through from the planning to deployment of Azure HCI. And not stopping there, they even go beyond and look at Azure Arc for multi-cloud management perspective and how it manages Azure HCI as well. All right, so that takes us pretty much to the end. I'm going to check to see whether Chua's ready to join us.
No, you're sharing, is it?
Yeah. Can you see it? Can you
Yes,
see
yes. Okay.
Huh? Okay.
So this is about the Windows Server 2022, the sneak peek. So now is the video, right? Have you started?
Yep.
So the first is I will show about the installation of the Windows Server 2022. In fact, it's almost the same as the normal Windows Server like 2019. And once the installation done, then we go and see the version. I right-click this PC, properties. From here, we can see that this is the Windows Server 2022 data center evaluation, and the version is 21H2. Okay. Oh, no, I just stuck.
Is it stuck?
Oh. Okay. The next I want to show is about. Yeah. The next is about the look and feel is a bit different. The icon, they have changed it. Okay. But this is not the main thing. Okay. Just have a look about the look and feel. So the next is about the Windows security. Let's click on it. Then the thing I want to show is about the protection history. This is a new features which doesn't available in the previous version of Windows Server. And then the second one is the secure boot. Okay, Microsoft have done a lot of security part in terms of the hardware, like this secure boot, and also they support the TPM. Okay, so if you have a TPM chip, then you have an add-on security. This is about the Windows Server 2022, the Azure Stack HCI. So if we click in, go to the virtual machine. Okay, and then go to the settings. Here you will see these affinity rules. This is about the new features which not available in the previous Windows Server 2019 Data Center Edition. Okay. And then we hang. Okay. Then if we click this affinity rule, then what we can see and what we can set is about this, like the rule name, the rule type, and then apply to which storage. Okay. The next about the new thing is this storage space and pool. Last time in previous version we doesn't have this one, storage repair speed. Okay. But new version we have this one. We can configure the speed, like you want to tune it to very high or just a medium. And also about this provision type, you can change it to the theme provision or you want it to be the fixed one. Okay. So these are the, yes.
Yeah, if I may add, right, that the other part on the affinity rules, essentially the purpose of the affinity rule is to keep certain virtual machines together. All right, a good example of that may be an application that has a separate virtual machine for its database server. So the application runs in one virtual machine, the database server runs in another virtual machine. So for the purpose of performance and maybe even reliability, you might want to keep those two virtual machines together. That's where and how you may want to use the affinity rule. The other possibility is also where you may not want virtual machines to stay together. That's where you have this anti-affinity rule, if you want. So that's how those different new capabilities come together. Back to you, Chua.
Okay, in fact, these are about the new features which I want to show in this 2022, and of course they are new coming soon, and in the our next session we will show more. Okay. Okay, back to you, Noel.
Thank you, Chua. That was just a quick sneak peek, if you want. Any questions for Chua? No? No? Right, don't worry, we'll share the slides as well so that at least you guys can, can continue to watch it at your own time and also play around with the technology. You can download the same evaluation that Chua and I are using, right, from the Microsoft download site. All right. Anyone have questions for Chua before he goes back to the other room? No? Okay, if there are, just drop them into the chat window and I'm sure Kenny and the team will pick them up and then we'll get them answered for you. Okay?
Sure.
Thank
Okay,
you, Chua.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. God bless. Bye.
Okay, Chua, here you go.
Yes.
Have anything to share? Nothing much, right? I think I explained it.
Got something to maybe to share before they start, okay?
Sure. Go ahead.
Can you all see my screen? Oops. Okay, so this is the layout of the entire lab structure. Okay, as what you can see, once you AnyDesk in, you are in fact in this work from home, the blue color one, work from home lab X. Lab X indicate that the number of lab you're actually accessing in. Okay, and then the green color is the virtual machine, okay, hosted under this work from home lab X. Okay, and you will actually, whatever work you do, actually you will need to do from the work from home lab X, the blue color one. Okay, all the browser you open, Windows Admin Center is actually from here, work from home. And then from the Windows Admin Center, you go through this VNIC to accessing to this not 1, not 2, not 3, and even the 1 DC. Okay, so let's see this one. So this is the lab guide. Okay, so you will start with this page. So this is the introduction to the lab environment. So you take some study. Actually, what actually has actually advised by Linus just now is actually noted here. Okay, so you can read through. Then once you start the lab, it should start with this page. Lab 1, set up the address tag HCI20H2. Okay, so you can start now. If you have any questions, feel free to raise up your hand or post in the conversation there. Okay, thanks.
For your information, for the designated support person, we will be logging into your AnyDesk ID as well, so that we can help you to observe if you are doing any steps wrongly or you need help and all that. We can help to spot you up. Yeah. Okay. So please don't mind. We will be around. You just try to imagine that we are at a physical room with a lot of lab machine running around one hall. Okay. Some of us will be just walking around a different area of the room, and we will be looking out for you who may need help. Okay. This is something very similar, just that in the virtual environment.